Hello Bloomington, I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of February 14th. On Monday night, the City Council had a long discussion on the standards and requirements that the city has in place regulating single-family and two-family homes. The City Council has talked quite a bit about expanding housing choices and options for our residents, and reevaluating zoning standards is one way to do that. As I'm sure you know, a good number of the single-family homes in Bloomington were built in the 1950s and the 1960s when the Rambler was the most common style of housing. Bloomington's city code and housing standards were written during that time, and while the code has continually been amended, it really hasn't evolved to meet new market pressures. As the Twin Cities has grown and changed over the decades, housing demand has led to more variety in housing types and more flexibility regarding development standards for single and two-family homes. Specifically here in Bloomington, we've seen increased demand for multi-generational living, single-floor living for active seniors, and a demand for larger homes for younger millennials with growing families. We continue to hear about the desire for accessory dwelling units, and we've seen the development of mixed-use, high-density, and transit-supportive nodes. When you combine all of this with the fact that there is very little vacant land available in Bloomington to develop new single-family or two-family homes under our current zoning standards, this is an important topic for the community to discuss. Updating our zoning code and keeping our standards relevant is essential as we look to keep our current residents and attract new residential development. So, city staff examined our current development standards and identified a variety of potential amendments that would encourage more housing options, increase affordability, address racial equity by identifying potentially discriminatory policies, and encourage healthy and sustainable communities. And while those are specific and separate goals, it's important to understand that they are certainly interrelated. A couple of examples of what I mean by development standards. The Council discussed minimum lot size, and we talked about the pros and cons of 50, 60, or 70-foot lot widths. As with anything, there are trade-offs, but smaller lot widths generally allow for more compact development and better utilization of land, and it expands opportunity for infill housing projects to become more financially viable. We also talked about minimum home sizes. Bloomington's standard is based off of the 1040 Rambler. It's a common 26-foot by 40-foot size popular back in the 1960s. The Planning Commission and City Council reviewed the minimum home size about 5 years ago, and we found ways to be more flexible, such as including finished basements into that square footage calculation. We talked about minimum parking requirements. Bloomington currently requires a 2-car garage for houses built after 2015. There was a lot of discussion about minimums and the impact it could have on neighborhoods, and basic things like where to store a lawnmower or a snowblower or bicycles. We talked about accessory dwelling units, which are basically independent dwelling units with their own cooking, living, bathroom, and sleeping areas. The current city code only allows accessory dwelling units when they are internal or attached to a single-family home. We had a very good discussion about considering accessory dwelling units as detached structures, separate from the main home or even above the garage. And finally, the Council reviewed parking standards for apartment buildings and other forms of multifamily housing. We looked at whether they could be reduced to lower costs and to provide environmental benefits. While the Planning Commission and the Housing and Redevelopment Authority have talked at length on this entire topic, this was the first meaty discussion the Council has had, and there were a lot of questions and a lot more requests for more specifics on some of the proposed changes. There is still a lot of discussion to be had on this with the development community and, of course, with residents. Staff is already planning to gather input through the Let's Talk online platform and other methods. Please be on the lookout for details about how you can participate. Housing demand has led to more variety in housing types and more flexibility regarding development standards. It's important that Bloomington continue to look at ways to make our housing stock strong now and in the future. On Monday, the Council made appointments to the Advisory Board of Health, the Creative Placemaking Commission, the Human Rights Commission, the Park, Arts and Recreation Commission, and the Sustainability Commission. If you watch, you know that we make appointments to our boards and commissions annually, and sometimes even more frequently if we have an unexpected opening. But this time was a bit different. For the first time this year, we made appointments based off an updated and improved process that has been in the works for some time. The prevailing thought of the City Council over the past several years was that the process we used to make board and commission appointments generally worked, but that it could be better. We asked staff, specifically the Community Outreach and Engagement Division, to coordinate a process improvement effort to formalize a clear process that reflects clarity, consistency, equity, and transparency. The folks in Community Outreach and Engagement tapped into the knowledge of staff liaisons and other employees who support boards and commissions. They talked to current board and commission members, and they talked to folks in legal and city administration to develop recommendations for the City Council to consider. A key component of the process improvements is a new City of Bloomington board and commission policy that defines consistent procedures and guidelines related to the recruitment, application, selection, appointment, and onboarding for city boards and commissions. And on Monday night, the appointments that I mentioned earlier were made as a result of those new procedures and guidelines. There were 11 openings to be filled, and the recruitment strategy that was used resulted in 40 applicants. Next came interview panels made up of council members, city staff, and members of the various boards and commissions. They met with applicants via Zoom to get a better understanding of the qualifications of each candidate. After the interviews, panel members debriefed and came to consensus regarding recommendations for appointments to each board and commission. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, of course that's how it should be done. And I would say you're right. And while we've employed elements of the process in the past, this is the first time it's been done in such a well-organized and effective way. Staff will continue to look for ways to improve the process and finalize a board and commission policy, but I'm happy to say that we now have a process in place that meets the goals of clarity, consistency, equity, and transparency. Hats off to staff for the work that went into this. I hope that you've heard the news by now that Bloomington has hired a new chief of police. City Manager Jamie Verbrugge announced late last week that Booker Hodges will step into the important role as police chief on April 4th. Dr. Hodges is currently Assistant Commissioner at the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. His past work history includes time as chief in Prior Lake, undersheriff at Ramsey County, and sergeant at the Dakota County Sheriff's Office. Dr. Hodges' experience in Dakota County includes being a patrol watch commander, a school resource officer, a narcotics detective, and a SWAT operator. He has supervised the work of professional standards, training and staff development, internal affairs, and more. In his current capacity, he oversees the Minnesota State Patrol, the BCA, and Alcohol and Gambling Enforcement Division. And he was the incident commander in the Multi-Agency Coordinating Center during the riots of 2020. Along with council members Coulter and Carter, I had the chance to meet Dr. Hodges during the interview process, and frankly, folks, I can't wait for the rest of the city to get that opportunity as well. During our conversation, Dr. Hodges stressed his commitment to community engagement and to having a department that reflects the community. Two values that we've been talking about here in Bloomington for some time now. I am truly looking forward to having Dr. Hodges on board. A quick thank you to the officers of the Bloomington Police Department who provided input on this entire process, the city staff members and community leaders who took part in listening sessions, and to City Manager Jamie Verbrugge for his leadership in this incredibly important search and hire. Finally, a big thank you to Interim Chief Mike Hartley, who has provided a steady hand and respected leadership over the past year in the interim role. Thanks for your work, Chief Hartley. That will do it for this week's Council Minute. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.